I never knew they had a Spider-Woman statue in the Smithsonian.
They don't.
What if I told you that Zendaya's MJ might finally step out of Peter Parker's shadow and become a full-fledged Spider-Woman in the MCU? It sounds wild, but with the multiverse breaking apart and Spider-Woman's rich history in Marvel Comics, it actually makes a lot of sense. For decades, this character has gone through multiple incarnations, from secret Skrulls to street-level heroes to fan-favorite Spider-Gwen, and now she could be swinging directly into Earth 616. And honestly, this could shake up Spider-Man's story in a really exciting way. We're starting to see how Zendaya's MJ could fit into something totally new in the MCU. It's not just a minor tweak either. This could change how Spider-Man stories unfold moving forward. Especially with Spider-Man 4 on the horizon, there's the potential for her to have powers of her own, essentially stepping into a Spider-Woman role. And that's huge, because it means MJ wouldn't just be the love interest anymore. She could have her own arc, own struggles, and even become a hero with her own place in the story. Now, before we get too far ahead, it's worth looking at Spider-Woman's long and tangled history in Marvel Comics, because understanding it helps make sense of what Marvel might do on screen. Over the years, a bunch of characters have taken on the Spider-Woman mantle: Jessica Drew, Julia Carpenter, Maddie Franklin, Gwen Stacy, and even Ashley Barton. Each version brought something different to the table, so there's a lot of flexibility for the MCU to play with. Jessica Drew was the first Spider-Woman, debuting in 1977. Her origin wasn't exactly heartfelt. It was rushed as a business move to secure the character's name. But over time, Jessica evolved. She starred in her own series, took breaks, and returned in various roles, ranging from street-level crime fighter to a pregnant private investigator. She became a central figure in Marvel, proving her staying power. Julia Carpenter had her own twist as Spider-Woman, later taking on identities like Arachne and Madam Web. Maddie Franklin had a shorter stint, and Charlotte Witter even flipped the script as a villain. Then there was Varanki, the Skrull Queen, impersonating Jessica Drew during Secret Invasion, adding yet another layer to the legacy. The multiverse only made things more interesting. In some universes, Spider-Woman is a female clone of Peter Parker, while in others, Gwen Stacy is bitten and becomes Spider-Gwen, a fan favorite who's exploded in popularity thanks to the animated Spider-Verse films. And now, Zendaya's MJ might become a Spider-Woman variant landing in Earth 616, potentially changing everything for Peter Parker. Think about it. Peter had to say goodbye to MJ in No Way Home, so seeing someone who looks like her but isn't the same person could create incredible emotional stakes and character development. If Zendaya becomes Spider-Woman, it opens the door for a brand new take on her character. She'd get powers, a backstory, and maybe even her own purpose in the MCU. Whether Marvel borrows elements from Jessica Drew, Julia Carpenter, or even creates a new character inspired by MJ, it's a clever way to keep Zendaya in the story without undermining the ending of the previous movie. And from a visual standpoint, imagining her swinging through New York alongside Spider-Man could be incredible, both for action sequences and emotional beats. Even though Spider-Woman started off as a rushed idea to secure a name, her evolution into a multi-dimensional hero makes her a perfect candidate for a remake of sorts in live action. This would allow the MCU to integrate her fully into the multiverse storyline while respecting the past films. Plus, Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man and over 900 related characters, including multiple Spider-Women. That gives them plenty of room to develop solo projects alongside the main MCU storyline. Jessica Drew, in particular, has been around a long time. She debuted in Marvel Spotlight number 32 in 1977 and even had her own 50-issue series. She's been brainwashed to work for Hydra, joined major events like Secret Invasion, and became a member of the New Avengers. So introducing her now, in the wake of Avengers Doomsday and before a potential standalone Spider-Woman movie, makes perfect sense. The timing could allow her to be involved in big crossover events before getting her own solo spotlight. Her abilities make her perfect for a hybrid of superhero and spy thriller storytelling. Jessica can cling to walls, has super strength, emits bioelectric venom blasts, is immune to poisons and radiation, and is a trained combatant thanks to Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. She's also incredibly stealthy, multilingual, and highly intelligent. If Marvel or Sony focus on these aspects, A Spider-Woman movie could be packed with action, intrigue, and character depth, something both casual audiences and die-hard fans would love. The multiverse factor also adds flexibility. Jessica Drew exists in alternate universes, like Earth 332 in Edge of Spider-Verse number 4, which means Marvel could explore different versions across mediums, from live action to animation, without breaking continuity. That opens the door for a new Spider-Woman film that doesn't overwrite past events but builds on them. Meanwhile, the MCU seems to be preparing for some major multiverse events. Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars could serve as the perfect launching pad for Spider-Woman, introducing her as a key player in universe-threatening events before spinning off onto her own story. In comics, she's been involved in pivotal moments, piloting survival ships, battling universe-ending threats, and joining teams like the New Avengers, which could translate into major on-screen stakes. Now, let's not forget Gwen Stacy, another central figure in Spider-Man lore. While she hasn't appeared in the MCU yet, there's speculation that she might be Peter's next love interest, especially given how Spider-Man 4 is shaping up. By introducing Gwen, Marvel could set the stage for MJ's evolution into Spider-Woman because it allows Peter to explore a different relationship dynamic in the interim. Essentially, Gwen's story could run off-screen or as a parallel subplot, letting MJ step into a hero role without conflicting with Peter's personal arc. This also helps streamline Peter's relationships on screen. After No Way Home, he had to leave MJ behind for her safety. So by Spider-Man 4, a bit of time has passed, giving Peter space to grow and potentially rekindle his connection with MJ. Meanwhile, Gwen Stacy's role fills the narrative gap without overshadowing Zendaya's character. This kind of storytelling keeps things emotionally satisfying while also paving the way for a solo Spider-Woman film in the future. Tom Holland and Zendaya have reportedly read the script for Spider-Man 4, which pretty much confirms MJ's return. That's exciting because it shows Marvel isn't sidelining her. Instead, they're reimagining her trajectory. By the time Spider-Man 4 hits theaters, we could see MJ fully stepping into her Spider-Woman identity, inspired by her own journey and possibly tied to larger multiversal events. It would be a perfect setup for a standalone Spider-Woman movie down the line. So, putting all of this together, Zendaya's MJ could start in Spider-Man 4 as Peter's partner in both love and heroics, gain powers inspired by Spider-Woman, and set up her own story independent of Peter. At the same time, Gwen Stacy could be used as a narrative bridge, appearing briefly or off-screen to help justify MJ's development into a hero. This keeps Spider-Man's story cohesive while introducing new hero arcs organically. Looking back at the comics, Spider-Woman's legacy is vast and varied. Jessica Drew started it all, but Julia Carpenter, Maddie Franklin, Ferengi, and Spider-Gwen have all left their marks. Zendaya could take inspiration from all of them, creating a new hybrid Spider-Woman that honors the past while standing on her own. It's a smart way for Marvel to keep fans invested in the familiar MJ while opening the door for brand new stories. And let's not underestimate the potential for storytelling. Spider-Woman's mix of powers, detective skills, and espionage experience gives Marvel an opportunity to blend street-level crime fighting with multiverse-level stakes. Action sequences could be more grounded than the usual cosmic battles while still tying into the larger Avengers events. That balance could make Spider-Woman one of the MCU's most versatile and compelling characters. Meanwhile, the timing works perfectly. With Avengers Doomsday hitting first and Spider-Man 4 following, Marvel can establish major multiverse consequences before MJ fully dons her Spider-Woman costume. This sequencing also allows Peter's growth to feel natural. He faces threats, matures as a hero, and sees MJ step into her own power without undermining his journey. By the time MJ fully embraces Spider-Woman in Spider-Man 4 or a subsequent solo project, Marvel will have done two things: respected the emotional closure of No Way Home and laid a solid foundation for a new hero in the MCU. Fans will get a familiar face, a beloved actress, and a character finally allowed to shine on her own. And if Zendaya plays it right, Spider-Woman could become one of the most important and iconic heroes in the MCU's next era. In short, Zendaya as Spider-Woman is shaping up to be Marvel's next bold move. She can take the legacy of Jessica Drew, Julia Carpenter, and Spider-Gwen, combine it with MJ's established presence, and create something fresh, exciting, and emotionally resonant. And thanks to the multiverse, Sony's character rights, and Marvel Studios storytelling, it all fits perfectly into upcoming projects, from Avengers Doomsday. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.